What's up guys, Caleb here with another installment of Reality Check, and today we are talking about the Gigabyte Aero 15. It's a tiny ass laptop with an RTX 2070 in it, people. Firstly, just want to say a big shout out to our boys over at Tech for sending the Gigabyte Aero 15 our way for review. It was a big privilege. There's not a lot of these in the country, and it's one of the first RTX laptops as well, so you guys are the best. To begin with, in terms of the aesthetic, they have not changed the Aero 15X for like the last 3 iterations. So it's pretty simple and clean and minimal, and you know that's right up my alley. But I'm just not crazy about that textured triangle on the top. Other than that, it's quite nice. I just think there's other laptops in the same price range that look a whole lot better. On the plus side, at least, the build quality is outstanding. It's something in this price range it has to be, so it feels really rugged and sturdy. It's got a nice bit of weight to it, but it's still really thin and portable, so you can just kind of throw it in the bag and take it with you wherever you need to go. There's a lot of power on the move there. They offer you a really decent port selection as well. 3 USB 3s, 2 USB Type-Cs, and one of them is Thunderbolt 3 enabled. And then you also get a headphone jack, an Ethernet port, and an HDMI out, so covering all the bases there with the Aero 15. Moving on to the keyboard now, it's RGB backlit. It's actually very similar to the Aorus X7, but it actually feels quite nice. It's got a fairly clicky response. It's nowhere mechanical, but that actuation point is quite solid. And the layout is quite cramped and quite small, but it's a really thin portable laptop, so you have to make some sacrifices somewhere. Overall, I'm a big fan of the keyboard. The trackpad is also really nice. It's a decent size, and the texture is super smooth, so your fingers glide over it, and it's pretty precise with those Windows precision drivers. All in all, I'm a big fan of that, and I just like that they didn't make it too small on a laptop that is as small as this one is. Moving on to one of the better parts of the Aero 15, the display. Whew, it's awesome. It's 144Hz 1080p display, but it's also Pantone certified, so those colors are crisp and vibrant and dank as all hell. It's also a thin bezel display, so if you're gaming, along with that 144Hz makes it an incredibly immersive experience. But then because of that Pantone certification, it's got great color accuracy. You could be using this as a content creator as well. That's entirely an option for you. Moving on to the performance now, we had some issues with this laptop. It was one of the first in the country, so it is an engineering sample, and not all of the software was up to date. But once we kind of circumvented that issue and got everything where it should be, we got some really decent frames per second output on this thing. So like the latest titles, pretty much any game, you shouldn't be worried about getting over 60 frames per second from high to ultra settings. Like, it's an RTX 2070 and it does what it's supposed to do. Obviously, it's also coupled with an i7-8750H, 16 gigs of RAM, and a terabyte SSD, which is a beautiful build to have in a laptop this size, but it's that RTX that's really taking it to the next level. It also helps with Premiere Pro, so like editing and exporting is also pretty much a dream. It was a real problem at first when we were still having those issues, but once we got it solved, exporting, multicam edit, doesn't really matter, bruv. It's an RTX 2070, you're good. The thermals are another point of interest on the Aero 15. Now, it can get quite hot after extended periods of usage, but the fans do a good job of dissipating some of that heat. The only thing is they get really, really loud. Other than that though, it's what you can expect basically from a super thin laptop with an RTX 2070 in it. The battery life surprised me somewhat. Now, it's obviously not excellent. You only get about 5 to 7 hours depending on your media consumption and brightness. But that's actually pretty good. Considering what this thing is doing, I think it's pretty impressive. Now, the Aero 15X is available for 40,000 freaking South African rands on Tech's website, evetech.co.za. Now, if you are willing to drop 40K on a dank-ass thin RTX gaming laptop, then they will throw a Gigabyte gaming bag and a Gigabyte mouse along with the purchase. This bag is premium, and that mouse is not premium, but it's better than any other free gaming mouse you're gonna get anywhere. So it's nice that they added it part of the parcel. Anyways, guys, that pretty much wraps it up for this installment of Reality Check. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about the Gigabyte Aero 15. And also, do you remember Aero chocolates, man? I'm not remember this. They haven't gone anywhere. They're just delicious, and I love those things. Super bubbly in your mouth. Don't forget to hit like, don't forget to hit subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time for another installment of Reality Check. Peace!